We're up to page 114. Yeah, 46. The walls sukkah should not be made from material that will dry out and be unusable during Sukkot. 47. Walls of sukkah should not be made from something that has a bad smell. 48. One may use the side of a synagogue for his sukkah walls. 49. The sukkah walls may be built from poles that are less than 3 tefachim away from each other. That way, it's considered a continuous wall. Levut. Therefore, one may use the bars of a railing of a balcony. Some people have balcony on the outside of their house and they have poles. So there's empty space a little bit in between each pole. But if it's only less than 3 tefachim, so then it's okay. It's kasher. It's considered like one solid wall. And one only needs to attach schach to the top of the bars for it to be kasher. Okay. Let's go to 54. Preferably, one should build a sukkah with 4 walls. A sukkah with complete 4 walls is considered a hidur. It's considered a higher level, higher form of the mitzvah because it bears more of a resemblance to an actual home. Okay, very good. 55. A sukkah does not need a mezuzah because it's only used for a short time. 56. There are 3 requirements for kosher schach. Okay, we finished with the walls. Now we're going to go towards the schach. Number 1, it must be grown from the ground. Number 2, it must be unattached and has to be cut from the ground. Number 3, it cannot be an item that receives tumah. It has to be, it's not mekabel tumah. Okay, wooden closets or chests that were broken into slats of wood may not be used for schach because they were originally able to become tameh. So you have a box and you broke up this big box into small pieces of wood. You're not allowed to use that now for schach because they were able to accept tumah before when they were a box. A box was able to accept tumah. It's a kli. However, these slats may be used to place kosher schach on top of them. You're allowed to use them as ma'amid. Ma'amid is things that support the schach. They're allowed to be as the support and not as the actual schach. Amen. 58. One may not use bedboards or legs of beds or chairs as the schach. 59. Wooden closets that contain more than 40 se'ah, which have been broken apart, may be used as schach because something bigger than 40 se'ah is not able to come to me. Okay, good. 61. One may place schach directly on top of a metal bar. What can I use to hold up my schach? Technically, you can use metal bars to hold up the schach, to support the schach. However, it's preferable to put a piece of wood on top of the metal bar and then place the schach on top of the wooded piece of wood. So usually we use metal as ma'amid de ma'amid. Support of the support. There's the schach, there's the support holding up the schach, and there's the support holding up the support that's holding up the schach. So can you use metal as a support? Technically yes, but better to use wood. Most people have these long bamboos or long 2x4s as the support for their schach. And then the support of the support is allowed to be metal. That's allowed to be metal for sure. So therefore the schach itself can't be, but even the support should also not be. One may place the schach on top of a stone wall, even without placing wood between the stone wall and the schach. 62. Fruits and vegetables and other foods cannot be used as schach. However, foods that are eaten by animals and not by people may be used for schach. Okay. 64. 63. Date branches that still have dates attached to them should not be used if the area that the dates cover is more than the area the branches cover. 64. One may not use any sort of paper or cardboard for schach. However, one may wrap the poles of the wood with the colorful paper to decorate the sukkah. One may paint the schach different colors in order to decorate the sukkah. 66. Plastic or nylon slats may not be used as schach since they don't grow from the ground. Also, one may not use glass for schach. Where does glass come from? Glass comes from sand. It actually comes from sand. We heat up sand, turns into glass. So you're not allowed to use glass for schach. 67. If snow fell on the sukkah, it does not disqualify the sukkah even if it covers the schach entirely. 68. Hay. Hay is the things that horses eat, right? That grows from the ground. You're allowed to use that as a schach. 69. One may use schach that is a mat of slats of wood, even if the slats are tied together with a cotton string. Okay? So that what do people have today? They have these bamboo schachs that are all tied together. It's like a mat. You unroll it and it opens over the sukkah. That is kasher to use. It's not considered a vessel, and it's not considered that it's pasul for the sukkah. Rather, it's permitted to use it. 70. Bamboo mats may be used as schach even though they're tied together with cotton string. However, if the mat was made to sit on and not specifically for schach, it may not be used for schach. But most of our schachs we buy today, it's not used to sleep on. People used to use it as a mat to sleep on, but we don't use it to sleep on. It's made for schach, so it's okay. One may even tie the mat down to the sukkah so it doesn't fly away in the wind. Similarly, one may put a heavy block of wood on the ends of the schach to hold it in place. 84 over here says, the footnote, every year people talk about this. The Chazon Avadia, Sukkot, and Or Letzion permit one to tie down schach to the sukkah to prevent it from flying away, but only with natural string, like cotton and flax, and not plastic string or nails. Furthermore, one should not tie it tightly to the sukkah, rather it should be loosely tied. However, b'diavad, if one did so, he may eat in the sukkah. Okay, good. So it comes out that if the schach is getting tied down to not fly away with it wants to be tied down, you have to use natural string and not plastic string or nails. Okay, schach that has bad smell and should not be used. 72, schach that is likely to dry out and fall may not be used even to begin with. 73, slats of wood that are wider than 4 tefachim may not be used as schach even if they're turned on their sides. The general custom today is to use slats less than 8 centimeters wide. What does that mean? If you want to use pieces of wood as your schach, you can't if they're more than 32 centimeters wide. Why? It looks too similar to the ceiling of a house. Therefore, people are going to say, what's the difference between sitting in the sukkah and sitting in the house? Baruch Olam. Amen.